Hey, what's up, class? Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, so far this year, we have been doing a lot of review. We started off reviewing integers, adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. We talked about some properties of math. We talked about properties of zero, what you do when you're dividing by zero, and so forth. We've done absolute value. And more recently, we've been working on combining like terms, and we've started talking about polynomials. So today I'm going to teach you a game. So we're going to move in a different direction, and this game is called Nuggets and Scales. So I'm going to turn on my DocuCam, and I'm going to teach a game during this lesson. So you should have this worksheet in front of you, but let me turn on my camera here. Okay, so nuggets and scales. So I want you to think of that image right there, okay? See if you can remember or think what that might be and what it might be used for. So it looks similar to something you might see in a grocery store, but in a grocery store, you might only see part of it, one side of it, right? Where you weigh apples or bananas or grapes or something like that. But in the old days, in ancient times, this is what was used in the marketplace. So before we had credit cards and money, they would buy and sell items by using gold and silver and other precious metals. And so in the marketplace, let's say your mom sent you down, instead of to go buy a gallon of milk, she sent you to buy a cow. So you went down to the marketplace and you had to go buy a cow. So you'd go to the guy selling cows and you'd tell him you want to buy a cow. And so you'd pick out the cow you wanted. And then what he would do is on one side of the scale, he would put weighted plates, kind of like plates you would see in a weight room, not plates in a kitchen, but like weighted plates in a weight room. And he'd put those plates here. And then over on this side, you would put your gold or your silver or whatever it was you were trading, and you would take this thing and you would make it balanced. And if he put the weighted plates here and you put some gold, and if it wasn't balanced, then this maybe would be heavier and it would drop down. So you would know it was a fair trade when this was equally balanced. And so we want to use this concept of balance. So we're going to play this game called Nuggets and Scales. Okay, so let me show you how we play this game. So here's our objective, is we want to determine the weight of an individual nugget. So we're going to be using gold nuggets. So we want to determine the weight of an individual nugget by using the concept of balance on a scale. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit. Okay, so here is our key. Here's our symbols key. So anytime you see a rectangle like this, that's going to represent some type of a weighted measuring plate, like a plate in the weight room, like a 5-pound plate or 10-pound plate. And then these look like cotton balls. These are our gold nuggets. Okay, so we've got gold nuggets. And so on each problem, we want to play the game and we want to figure out how much does one gold nugget weigh. Okay, so here's our first example. We'll start off with one that's fairly easy. So in this first example, here we go. So this is our balance scale, right? It's kind of like a seesaw or a teeter-totter. Maybe you've played on those in a playground somewhere. Okay, so right now it's completely balanced. And on one side, we've got, let's count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 gold nuggets. And on the other side, we have a 20-pound plate. So we want to figure out how much is each gold nugget. They all weigh the same. How much does one gold nugget weigh? So I'll give you a moment and hopefully you have an answer. So each gold nugget, so one gold nugget is going to weigh not 20 pounds. Each gold nugget weighs 4 pounds. 4 pounds. Okay, now there are probably 3 different ways that you could have figured that out. So let me walk you through those 3 ways. So one way would be to use multiplication. Okay, so we could use, there's our little gold miner. Okay, so one way would be to use multiplication. So there are 5 nuggets, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could have thought to yourself, okay, if they all weigh the same, well, 5 times what number makes 20? It's going to equal 20. And so that was 4, right? So each gold nugget's 4. So you could have multiplied. Make sure you're copying this strategy down here. A second strategy that you could have used is you could have divided. Maybe you did that. So you looked over here and you said, okay, well, the whole thing weighs 20, and I know that there are 5 of them that are all equal, so 20 divided by 5 is 4, okay? Now, a third strategy that you might have used is you might have added, right? So you might have kind of done what I call like a guess and check. So you might have started off and you might have said, okay, well, let's count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, okay, that's not enough. Okay, so that would be 10, but over here's 20. It's not balanced. Okay, so then you might have eventually got to 4 plus another 4, so 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So you could have added the numbers. Okay, so all 3 of these strategies would have worked. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and try the next example. Let's see if you can figure this one out now that I've given you some strategies. So here we go. All right, so you've got 2 gold nuggets, and on the other side, it's balanced. It's equal to 14 pounds. So 2 gold nuggets equal to 14 pounds. How much does 1 gold nugget weigh? And hopefully you can identify each nugget is 7 pounds. Okay, so 7 pounds. So once again, we could use the 3 strategies. We could have first multiplied. So there's 2 nuggets, okay? So if they're the same, 2 times what? 2 times 7 would be 14. You could have divided. Some of you think of it in terms of divide. So you took the 14, and then you said, okay, well, I'm going to divide that between 2 nuggets. So each was 7. And then some of you might have added. You might have just said, oh, okay, 7 plus 7. What number plus itself? 7 plus 7 make 14. Okay, all right, so now they're going to get a little bit more complicated, so let's move on to the next few examples here. All right, so now these I'm going to actually do with you. Okay, so let's drop down here, and we're going to do number 3 together. Now, on this is a little different than the first 2 problems that we did together, because in this problem, if you notice, see if you can figure out what's different. Okay, so some of you realize, okay, so there's gold nuggets, but then there's also a weighted plate on this side, and then over here is 16 pounds. Okay, so sometimes in the ancient days, when they were using a scale like this, sometimes they'd put the gold nuggets, and then to make sure it balanced out, they might add a little weighted plate on one side. So here, that's what they've done. So now what we want to do is we still want to figure out how much does each gold nugget weigh. So we're going to use a strategy. You could probably guess and check your way through it, but I'm going to encourage you to use a strategy which I call isolate the nuggets. Isolate the nuggets. Okay. And what I mean by that is we want to get the nuggets by themselves. So right now, over here on the left side, we have nuggets and weight. So what I want to do is I want to take this weight off, okay? But I need to keep the balance scale balanced. So if I take this 1 pound off, if I take it off, so it's gone, I take it off, then now all of a sudden the scale is no longer balanced. So what do I need to do if I'm taking 1 pound off of the left side? Okay, you got it. I need to take 1 pound off of this side. So I'm not going to completely cross it out. I'm not getting rid of all 16. I'm just taking 1 pound off. So I'm going to do -1. Okay. Now this is a little messy. So now I'm going to redraw this. So real simple. I'm just going to redraw There's my, it's called a fulcrum right there. And now how many gold nuggets do we have? We still have 5 gold nuggets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over here, now instead of 16, it's now 15. 15. Okay, now can you see how much each nugget weighs? So you can try multiply, you could try divide, or you could try the add. So if we were going to do the multiply strategy, that would be 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So how much would it be to make 15? 5 times, that would be 3. All right. And if I wanted to do the divide strategy, divide. If I want to do divide strategy, I would take the 15 and start with that. And then I would divide by 5 gold nuggets. So I'm going to divide by 5. And that would give me 3. Okay. And so then my final answer, I'm going to write my final answer like this. N for a nugget is equal to 3 pounds. Okay, so I just played the game, right? So in this one, each nugget weighs 3 pounds. Each nugget weighs 3 pounds. Okay, all right, let's try number 4. You are going to have a few on your own. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the problem. I have 22 pounds, so I have a weighted plate, 22 pounds on the left side. On the right side, we have a 4-pound plate and then 3 nuggets. Okay, so you could try to guess and check your way through it, but what I'm going to do is this strategy called isolate the nuggets again. So if I try to take 22 pounds off, I could take this off, but I don't have 22 pounds over here. So I can only take off, I have to take off the same amount. So I can't take 22 off, but I can take 4 off. So I'm going to completely take this off, so that's gone. And then out of this 22, I'm going to subtract 4, minus 4. So I'm going to take that off. And now I'm going to redraw the problem because it's a little messy. So when I redraw the problem, if I had 22 and I took 4 off, that's going to leave me with 22 minus 4 is 18. So I have 18 pounds here, and then I still have 3 nuggets. And then hopefully you can see it. We can still go through the steps. So if I multiply, some of you prefer that. So if I multiply, I'm going to go 3 times, and then what would it be? 3 times what is going to make 18? That would be 3 times 6, right? So each nugget's worth 6 pounds. If I wanted to divide, I could do divide. And I'm going to start with 18. And then I'm going to divide by my 3 nuggets. I'm going to divide by 3. And that's going to be 6. Okay, so in this final answer, each nugget is equal to 6 pounds. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and try a couple more. Okay, all right, so now number 5, getting a little bit more complicated. Okay, so now on number 5, I have a weighted plate, 2 nuggets. I have a weighted plate and 3 nuggets. Now remember, whatever I take off of this side, I have to take the same amount off of here, or whatever I take off of here, I need to take the same amount. So if I try to take 6 pounds off, I better have 6 pounds over here, which I don't. I only have a 2-pound weight, okay? So what I want to do is I want to first take off 2 pounds because I know I can take 2 out of there. So I'm going to cancel that. So that completely comes off. And then here, I'm not getting rid of all 6. I'm only taking 2. I'm going to take 2 off, so minus 2. Okay, now, so that's going to become a 4. So let's go ahead and start to draw this. Okay, so I know that I'm going to have 4 pounds over here. Okay, and that's gone. But now, before I write my my nuggets down here, I'm going to take off more. So I took off 2 pounds, and I took off 2 pounds here, but I'm going to take off 2 nuggets here, because if you notice in the other problems, let me back up a second, in the other problems, the nuggets were always together, right? They were all together. Over here, they're all together. But now, in this example, I have nuggets on the left side. I also have nuggets on the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 nuggets off of there. Well, if I take 2 nuggets off the left side, what do I have to do over here? I have to take 2 nuggets. And so what am I left with? Those are gone, right? Those don't exist anymore. I took them off. These I took off. So now I'm left with just 1 nugget. And so if I only have 1 nugget and I have 4 pounds over here, then each nugget weighs 4 pounds. And I solved that entire problem by just eliminating, by taking things off. Okay. All right, here we go. One more together, and then you've got, I believe, 3 on your own. Okay, so now, once again, I've got 2 nuggets, 10 pounds, a 1 pound plate, and I've got 5 nuggets. Okay, so what can I take off? I know you can't answer back to me right now, but let's think. What could we take off? What would be easy to take off? Can I take 10 pounds off of both sides? No, there's 10 pounds here, but we don't have 10 pounds here. But I can take this 1 pound off. So let's eliminate that. And then here, I'm going to take off 1 pound. So that's going to come off. So I know that 10 and I take away 1, that's going to be 9. And now what else can I do? I have 5 nuggets here and I have 2 nuggets here. I want nuggets only on one side. So I'm going to take off these 2 nuggets and I'm going to take off these 2 nuggets. Now I'm going to redraw this. Okay, and there's my fulcrum. And I had 10 take away 1, so that's a 9 pound plate. And then I have 3 nuggets. Now here's a little shortcut. Instead of drawing 3 nuggets, which I could do, I'm going to do this, 3N. I'm going to abbreviate. Okay, so now hopefully you can do the math, right? 3 times what makes 9? Or 9 divided by 3 makes what? So hopefully you're able to see. So if I was to multiply, right, I would go 3 times what? And that would be 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Or if I was going to divide, I could think of it in terms of divide. I'm going to take my 9 pounds and I'm going to divide by 3, and that's going to give me the answer 3. So each nugget is equal to 3 pounds. Okay. All right, so those are 6 examples. Now you have 3 more examples. Use the strategies that we just talked through. So we'll look at these, but you're going to do these on your own. So in example 7, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold nuggets and a 3-pound plate. And then over here is 27 pounds. So you should be able to do that. You need to show your work, redraw, show what you're crossing off and canceling if you want to get full credit. And then on number 8, you've got 3 nuggets, 5 pounds, 2 nuggets, 11 pounds. Remember, we want to wind up with only 1 nugget, and we only want the nuggets on one side of the scale. Okay, so make sure you show your work. And then on number 9, down here, I've just abbreviated. So instead of drawing the circles, that's 2 nuggets and 11 pounds. And this is 6 nuggets and 3 pounds. So you just do the same thing that we did up here. Okay, so here's 3 nuggets and 5 pounds. Here's the same problem, 2 nuggets and 11 pounds, or similar problem. And then also make sure you go ahead and write yourself a tip on a strategy for playing the game and solving the game. Okay, let me go back to get the camera back. Okay, so nuggets and scales, go ahead and finish those 3 problems up. We're going to continue working on this in class. This might be a new type of concept or new game for you. And so hope that makes sense. All right, we'll talk to you soon.